Made by them to them, the students in the learning process. The social and technological evolution reaches the school, so the pedagogies implemented in it no longer correspond to the expectations of students and society. There is a need to do different, innovate to make the teaching and learning process more natural and engaging for students, articulate, and meaningful. We propose a pedagogy in which students are the producers of resources that they use in the learning process. This study aims to understand the importance of a meaningful learning, focused on cognition, behavior and effectivity. In this sense, the flipped classroom methodology was used. In primary school, storytelling and video recording were experienced as knowledge enhancement resources. In higher education, collaborative and oriented research was experimented and the results were treated, synthesized and shared in presentations, made by the students and presented by them to them. Methodologically, it is a case study that seeks to understand the importance of meaningful learning through cognition and effectivity. For the collection of information in primary education was made from the collection of reflective narratives carried out by trainees regarding the pedagogical practices implemented in real contexts. In higher education, the data collection was performed by the teacher through direct observation. The data, in both situations, were objects of thematic analysis. This approach involves 3 classes in primary education. In Class 1, brainstorming should be used where children define what I know, what I want to know, what is what I am going to learn, how am I going to learn, what do I have to do and how I'll use what I've learned. Homework assignments for the children are sent home individually. In Class 2, in the classroom, a video was produced collaboratively, or a storytelling that included the voices of children. In Class 3, also in the classroom, the storytelling created in the previous class was used as didactic resource. RCE for understanding poem, text or literary work. This approach also involves 3 classes in higher education. In Class 1, the subject was approached and the materials related to the theme were sent through the Moodle platform. At home, the students communicated with each other to distribute assignments, each assuming responsibility for being investigated and presented in the classroom. In Class 2, tutorial, each group reflected on the topic studied at home and built a PowerPoint presentation. In Class 3, in class, each group presented their work to the class. We select the 3 themes that best demonstrate the characteristics of made by them for them. Made by them to them, it makes learning meaningful because it has included the student at the center of the learning process since class preparation. Made by them to them, it activates the previous basic knowledge in a meaningful articulation and this facilitates the understanding of the curricula contents. Made by them to them, it includes the student in the learning process and stimulates the sharing of knowledge, and thus promotes recognition outside the classroom. This has an impact on the performance and fluency of the teaching, learning process. The impact of made by them to them is not only on the students but also on the teacher. Thus made by them to them gives opportunity to the teacher to rework the action plan aligning the previous knowledge and the competences of the students and interests with curricular contents, which allows to present 8 new levels of complexity and of challenges. It also promotes curricular articulation. Made by them to them, the students in the learning process, is an approach that envisions the student as the main driver of his motivation and of his learning process, making him simultaneously a producer and a direct consumer of his production. Thank you for listening.